chosen one. Before your eyes move, before your thoughts rush ahead, before your breath even changes, pause right here with me. Something is happening inside you right now, and it didn't happen by accident. That stillness you just felt, that quiet pull in your chest, that moment where everything else faded for a second. That was your spirit stepping forward before your mind could explain it. You didn't land here out of curiosity. You arrived here because something deeper inside you recognized this moment as yours. And if this stirs something in you, don't rush past it. Write, "I'm ready" in the comments. Not for me, but as a quiet yes between you and heaven. Listen closely, chosen one. That subtle pressure you feel, that warmth rising, that sense of awareness that feels heavier and lighter at the same time, that is not random. That is recognition. Your soul knows when it's standing in front of something meant for it. Your heart knows when a door is opening, even before your eyes can see it. And right now, something is opening for you. If this feels personal, if it feels like it's reaching into a place you don't usually let people see, stay with it. And if you feel comfortable, leave a simple "I hear you" below, just as a quiet marker of this moment in your own journey. You've been carrying things silently, you've been strong when no one was watching, you've been praying words you couldn't even fully say out loud, and now here you are, feeling that gentle shift in your atmosphere, that sense that something is different. Even if you can't explain why yet, that's your confirmation. Not loud, not dramatic, just real, just deep. If this message feels like it's meeting you where you actually are, take a second and tap, like not as a signal to me, but as a way of telling yourself, I'm paying attention to what my spirit is feeling right now. Stay here, chosen one. Don't scroll away from this moment. Let it settle, let it breathe. If you want to walk this journey with others who feel the same pull, subscribe and stay connected. Not for content, but for community. And if you feel safe enough, share one word in the comments that describes how your heart feels right now. Peace, expectation, relief, hope, whatever it is. Let it be honest, because this moment wasn't sent to the crowd. It was sent to you, chosen one. Let me speak to you in this quiet space where your heart is open and your spirit is listening. Because there is something unfolding around you that your eyes cannot yet see, but your soul already feels. You've been walking through your days with a strange mix of tiredness and expectation, like you've been carrying both a burden and a promise at the same time. And some nights you've laid down and stared at the ceiling, wondering why your heart keeps whispering that something is about to change, even when nothing around you looks different. That whisper is not imagination. That is awareness. That is the part of you that God placed inside you long before you took your first breath, the part that recognizes seasons before they arrive, the part that senses shifts in the air before the wind even moves. You've been in a waiting place, but it hasn't been empty. It's been full of shaping, full of stretching, full of moments where you had to learn how to stand alone without becoming bitter, how to keep loving without being understood, how to keep believing when all the signs around you tried to tell you to give up. And if this feels like it's describing a chapter of your own life, take a second and write, "I'm still standing" in the comments. Not to show strength to anyone else, but to remind yourself that you made it through what you once thought would break you. There have been moments when you felt overlooked, when you watched others move forward, while you felt like you were standing still, and you asked God in the quiet of your own thoughts, "Did you forget about me?" But heaven doesn't forget. Heaven prepares. Every delay you experienced was not denial, it was development. Every closed door wasn't rejection, it was protection. Every season of silence wasn't absence, it was instruction happening in a language deeper than words. You were being taught how to hear with your spirit instead of your ears, how to see with your heart instead of your eyes. That's why now, even before anything visible changes, you feel different. You feel steadier, you feel more aware, you feel less shaken by things that used to pull you apart. That's because something inside you has grown stronger than the storm around you. And if you feel that inner strength rising, even quietly, tap like on this moment as a small way of acknowledging the work that's been happening inside you when no one else was looking. Chosen one, there's a reason people have misunderstood you, a reason you've often felt out of place, even in rooms where you are welcomed. You carry a different kind of weight, a different kind of light, and not everyone knows how to respond to that. Sometimes they pull away, sometimes they project, sometimes they challenge what they don't understand. But all of it has been shaping you into someone who can stand firm without becoming hard, who can be confident without becoming proud, who can walk forward without needing constant applause. You've been learning how to be guided from within instead of driven by what's around you. That's not a common path, and it's not an easy one, but it is a meaningful one. And if you've ever felt alone on this journey, leave a simple "I'm not alone" below. Not because I need to see it, but because there are others reading this right now who need to know they aren't walking this road by themselves either. There is a moment coming in your life when you will look back at this season and realize it was the foundation for everything that followed. You'll see how the patience you were forced to learn became the strength you now walk with. You'll see how the pain you had to sit with taught you compassion that can't be faked. You'll see how the questions you asked in the dark led you to answers you wouldn't have been ready to carry before. Right now, you may still be in the middle of it, still feeling like you're waiting for the breakthrough, the clarity, the open door, the confirmation that you're moving in the right direction. But even in this in-between place, something sacred is happening. You are becoming someone who can hold what you've been praying for without being overwhelmed by it. And if that idea settles into your heart, if it gives you even a small sense of peace, subscribe and stay connected here. Not for updates, but as a reminder that you don't have to walk through these moments of becoming alone. Let me tell you something gently, because this isn't meant to be loud or forceful. The timing of your life is not behind. It is not late. It is not off schedule. It is aligned with a bigger picture that you cannot fully see yet. You've been comparing your path to others, wondering why their chapters seem to turn faster than yours, why their doors seem to open more easily, why their progress looks more visible. But what you don't see is the depth of what you are being built for. Some lives are meant to rise quickly. Others are meant to grow deep first. You are growing deep. Your roots are spreading in places that will hold you steady when the winds come. And they will come, because they always do. But when they do, you won't be easily moved. You won't be easily shaken. You won't lose yourself in the noise. You will know who you are, because you learned it in the quiet. There have been tears you didn't tell anyone about, prayers you whispered instead of spoke, hopes you held close to your chest because you were afraid to say them out loud and watch them fall apart. But hear this, chosen one. Those hopes were not placed in your heart to tease you. They were placed there to guide you, the desires that keep returning, the visions that won't leave you alone, the sense of calling that keeps nudging you forward even when you try to ignore it. Those are not accidents. They are invitations. They are signs pointing you toward the life you were created to live, not the one you settled for because it felt safer. And if you feel brave enough, even just in this small space, write "I choose the life I was created for" in the comments, not as a promise to anyone else, but as a quiet agreement between you and your own spirit. You may not see the full path yet, and that's okay. You don't need the entire map. You just need the next step. And sometimes that next step is simply believing that you are being guided, even when you can't see how. Sometimes it's choosing to stay soft in a world that tries to make you hard. Sometimes it's choosing to keep trusting after you've been disappointed. Those choices may feel small, but they shape everything. They shape the way you walk into rooms. They shape the way you speak to people. They shape the way you show up for yourself on days when no one else shows up for you. There is a quiet confidence growing inside you, even if you don't fully recognize it yet. It's the kind that doesn't need to announce itself. It's the kind that doesn't need to prove anything. It simply knows. And that knowing will guide you through decisions, through relationships, through opportunities that look good on the surface, but don't align with who you are becoming. You will start to feel a gentle resistance to things that once excited you, but no longer fit. You will start to feel drawn to things that once scared you, but now feel right. That is growth. That is alignment. That is your inner world catching up to the future that's waiting for you. If this moment feels like a pause in the middle of your day where something real is settling into your heart, take another second and just breathe. Let yourself be here. Let yourself be. And if you want to mark this moment in your own small way, tap like or leave a simple word that describes what you're carrying right now. Not for validation, not for attention. Just as a quiet reminder to yourself that you showed up for your own soul today, chosen one. You are not wandering. You are being led. Even when the path feels unclear, even when the terrain feels unfamiliar, even when you feel tired and unsure, there is a steady hand guiding you forward. You don't have to rush. You don't have to force. You don't have to become someone you're not to arrive where you're meant to be. You just have to keep walking, keep listening, keep choosing the deeper voice over the louder noise, because your time is not approaching. Your time is unfolding, and you are standing right in the middle of it, even now, chosen one. As you keep walking forward through this unfolding season, there will be moments when the world around you doesn't immediately reflect what you feel growing inside you, and that can feel confusing, even lonely. You may look at your life and wonder why the inner shift you sense hasn't yet produced the outer change you hope for, why the clarity in your spirit hasn't yet become the clarity in your circumstances. But hear this gently. Not every transformation announces itself with noise. Some of the most powerful changes happen quietly, in places no one else can see. The way you think is shifting. The way you respond is softening. The way you carry yourself is becoming steadier. You are learning to pause instead of react, to listen instead of assume, to trust instead of control. These are not small things. These are the foundations of a life that can hold purpose without being crushed by it. And if you feel even a flicker of recognition in that, leave a simple, "I am growing," in the comments. Not as a declaration to the world, but as a gentle acknowledgement to yourself that something within you is moving forward. There will be times when people don't understand the pace of your journey. They may question your choices, your patience, your refusal to rush into what looks easy or comfortable. But you weren't created for a life that simply looks good from the outside. You are created for a life that feels true on the inside. That means you will sometimes walk away from things others run toward you. You will sometimes stand still when others tell you to hurry. You will sometimes say no when it would be easier to say yes. This isn't because you are trying to be different. It's because you are learning to be aligned. And alignment doesn't always look impressive, but it always feels right. If you've ever felt the quiet strength it takes to choose what's right over what's popular, tap like on this moment as a small way of honoring that courage in yourself. Chosen one, there is a depth to you that has been shaped by what you've survived. The nights you cried without telling anyone, the disappointments you carried with a smile, the hopes you kept alive even when they felt fragile. All of that has carved a kind of wisdom into your heart that can't be taught, only lived. And that wisdom is becoming a light for others, even if you don't see it yet. Sometimes it's in the way you listen without interrupting. Sometimes it's in the way you show up when someone else is falling apart. Sometimes it's simply in the calm you carry into spaces that feel heavy. You may not realize it, but you are already becoming the kind of person you once prayed you would meet. And if that thought settles warmly in your chest, right, I am becoming below, not for applause, but as a quiet witness to your own journey, there's also something else happening, something more subtle, but just as powerful. You are learning to let go. Let go of expectations that boxed you in. Let go of timelines that made you feel behind. Let go of versions of yourself that were built to survive, not to truly live. This can feel uncomfortable, even scary, because familiar struggles can sometimes feel safer than unfamiliar peace. But you are being invited into a wider space, a place where you don't have to fight so hard to be seen, where you don't have to prove your worth, where you don't have to carry everything on your own shoulders. Trust doesn't grow in moments of ease. It grows in moments of release. And every time you choose to loosen your grip, you make room for something new to enter. If you feel that invitation to release, even in a small way, subscribe and stay connected here, not as a commitment to a channel, but as a reminder to yourself that you are open to what's next. You may start to notice that certain relationships shift during this season. Some people will naturally fall away, others will step closer. This isn't a punishment, it's alignment in motion. Not everyone is meant to walk every mile of your journey with you. Some are meant to walk a chapter, some are meant to walk a season. And that doesn't make their presence or their absence a failure. It simply makes it part of the story. You don't have to hold on to what no longer fits. You don't have to chase what is meant to move on. The right connections will find you in the right time, in the right place. When you are ready to meet them as the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. There will also be moments when old fears try to resurface. Doubts that whisper, what if you're wrong? What if this doesn't work out? What if you're hoping for too much? But chosen one hope is not your weakness. It is your compass. It is the part of you that refuses to settle for a smaller life than the one you were created to live. Courage doesn't mean you never feel afraid. It means you keep moving even when you do. And every step you take in the direction of what feels true strengthens the part of you that knows you are capable of more than you've seen so far. If you've ever taken a step forward, even with shaky hands, leave a quiet "I'm moving forward" in the comments, not as a boast, but as a promise to yourself to keep going. There is a future version of you that looks back at this moment with gratitude. That version remembers the uncertainty, the waiting, the quiet faith it took to keep believing when the path wasn't clear. That version stands in a life that feels fuller, freer, more aligned, and knows that it all started in moments like this. Moments where you chose to listen instead of rush, to feel instead of numb, to trust instead of close your heart. You're not wasting time right now. You are investing it. You are building something that will last beyond this season, beyond this year, beyond this version of yourself. Let this truth settle in gently. You don't have to become perfect to move forward. You don't have to have everything figured out to be on the right path. You just have to stay open. Open to learning. Open to growing. Open to the possibility that your life can be bigger, deeper, more meaningful than you once imagined. That openness is what allows guidance to reach you, opportunities to find you, and connections to recognize you when you cross paths. If this moment feels like a quiet checkpoint on your journey, take a breath and let it be that. Let it be a place where you pause, not because you're stuck, but because you're aware. And if you want to mark this awareness, tap like or leave a single word that reflects what you feel right now. Calm, hopeful, curious, steady. Not for anyone else to read, but as a small gift to yourself, a reminder that you are present in your own life today. Chosen one, your time is not something you are chasing. It is something you are stepping into, moment by moment, choice by choice, breath by breath. You don't have to run, you don't have to compete, you don't have to compare. You only have to keep showing up as the truest version of yourself, even on days when that feels like the hardest thing to do. Because every time you do, you move closer to the life that's been quietly calling your name all along, and you will recognize it when you arrive, not because it looks a certain way, but because it feels like home.